Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Spotlight. My name is Kim Capino, and I'm here to help you coach better. After decades as a teacher and coach in international schools, I founded my company, Eduro Learning, to help you recognize and leverage your influential leadership so you can make the move from feeling like just a teacher to a confident leader in your school community, however that looks for you. I work with clients around the world through our certificate programs and private mentoring packages, and today's episode highlights so many of the elements that we are so proud of in our courses. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a guest you'd like to see on the podcast, please leave a comment below, join our Coach Better Facebook group, or find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. Today, I am chatting with Eric Hudson, Chief Program Officer for Global Online Academy. This Spotlight episode focuses on what excellent remote professional learning for educators looks like and why it's important for educators to engage in this kind of PD. In the full-length episode, we also chat about what competency-based learning means and how schools can create that kind of environment. To listen to the full episode, subscribe to Coach Better wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch all of our latest episodes here on YouTube. After the show, head over to Coach Better TV to get all of our resources for instructional coaches. It's so clear to me, not only from what you're saying, from what I already know about GOA, and from all the colleagues I know that have worked with GOA, that you are such a human-centric organization, such a relationships-driven organization, and how you bring that into not just student learning, because today we're kind of talking a lot about adult learning. I know that GOA started for student learning, but we're kind of leaning on the adult learning side. What does excellent remote professional learning look like when you're bringing that relationships perspective into it? Like if someone hasn't experienced an online course with GOA or they're considering other online courses, like what should they be looking for? What are these key factors that make that remote professional learning so good for teachers so they can transfer it back to what's happening in their classroom?
Yeah. So many thoughts. So I guess I would say first and foremost, we are already learning online, even if we're not really aware that we're learning online. Like every time you click a link of an article that someone emails you, every time you check something on Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, you are learning online. And I think that recognizing that it's not like this thing over there that happens, right? That we sometimes do and most of the time don't, and really realize like online is woven into the fabric of our existence. And I think that's really where we try to start with professional learning online at GOA is you're already doing this. We will ground it in your way that shows that we know what your job is like, so it will feel relevant. And then after that, I think you have to really lean into what online offers that in-person often can't. And that usually revolves around accessibility. So, content that is available to you when you need it. It also really relates to flexibility, which is I want to dip in and learn a little bit before school, I want to go back in at lunch, or I want to go in after, I put the kids to bed, whatever. That's a big advantage of online. So we really try to make the content both relevant, but also accessible. And then the last piece, I think, is networking. So when you are learning online, you have access to a community that you wouldn't have access to in person unless you dropped a large amount of money on a plane ticket and a hotel room and went to a conference. And so the idea that you can learn about someone's experience and hear their perspectives in an online environment is really important, especially at an organization named Global Online Academy. How are we designing our professional learning experiences in a way that invites people to not just do work, but share work, and not just take, but also kind of give to the experience, so that when you as a learner log in and look at what's going on in the course, you're not just seeing what GOA is giving you, but you're seeing how other people are reacting to it and adding to it.
Okay, I could go on about this forever because this is my jam right here. I don't know how much you know about the other things that I do, but almost 20 years ago, I started a certificate program called the Certificate of Educational Technology and Information Literacy. And from that built out another certificate program called the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. And from that built out another certificate program called Women Who Lead. And all of it has exactly these things. And I'm so appreciative of the clear way that you've stated this accessibility, flexibility, and networking, because it's a weird, intangible thing that is just hard to articulate. And you articulated it so well. And I'm always struggling to say these things. And I think this is the exact opposite of what most of us are used to dealing with when we go for university courses, for example, which are normally set up as a content delivery system at the convenience of the person who is leading the course. And the assessment process is based on quantity rather than quality. There is not a lot of interest in dynamic conversation between participants. Like I keep seeing this Twitter meme come up about like being in a forum discussion for an online university course, and all the comments are like, "Well said, Roger. I really appreciate how it's like this nonsense commenting that is like done to meet the expectation of every post must have 3 comments." Well, that's not what learning really looks like you don't do that in the classroom. Why are you making this a requirement in the online setting? So I really think that I hope that as teachers and coaches and leaders are listening to this, these things that we're talking about, the content being available anytime, that there's flexibility for you to dip in and out when it's ready and right for you, because you're an adult, you're an expert, you're in charge of your own time and your learning, and the ability to hear from, learn from, and share with others are those key elements we want to see in our adult learning. And then, like you were talking about before, how can we transfer and bring that back to our classroom? Because when I think about a technology-rich learning environment, which is kind of where all of my own work kind of started, because I've started way back as a tech facilitator, tech coordinator, that's what we want to bring the technology in for, is that differentiation piece, that connection piece, that collaboration piece, that sharing piece, not just replicating what we could already do in person. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching today's conversation with Eric. I hope you enjoyed everything that we talked about. This was such a great way to see how powerful online learning can be and the kind of experience you can have with us in one of our global cohorts. In the coach, you'll maximize your impact as an instructional coach by finding clarity in your role, building confidence in your unique coaching voice, and implementing successful coaching cycles with more coaching partners than ever before. You'll build the foundations of a thriving coaching culture in one academic year. In Women Who Lead, you'll recognize, articulate, and leverage your leadership potential. You'll conquer imposter syndrome and manage the unique challenges women face pursuing a leadership role with the personal stories, advice, and experience of over 70 successful female leaders from around the world. In Coattail, you'll leverage the technology you have to foster student agency and individualized learning. The Certificate of Educational Technology and Information Literacy will teach you how to create innovative, engaging, and authentic learning experiences with a global cohort of educators for support. If this is the kind of learning you're looking for, our global cohorts open only once a year. Get all the details for all 3 of our next global cohorts at edurolearning.com. At Eduro, teachers become leaders. Whatever your role in schools, you are so much more than just a teacher. As an educator, you have built an amazing skill set that goes far beyond the classroom, and you deserve professional learning that does more than just tick a box. It's time to end the cycle of one-size-fits-all, barely there, minimum PD, and get professional learning that's customized just for you. Join us for our next global cohort and see how our community-driven, personalized certificate programs will help you build the confidence to embrace your inner leader and make a bigger impact in your school setting. You deserve to be at the heart of your professional learning experiences. Find out more at edurolearning.com. Join our Coach Better Facebook group and connect with us on social media at Eduro Learning for more great resources for educators. Thank you so much for joining us today. See you next time.